completely free. And it's something that does take a while to grow. So setting yourself up for ranking for long-term, long-tail, keywords. In our case, it would be stuff like, happy hour near me, Barton Springs, or happy hours close to Texas Capitol. Things that do get search traffic, but bigger companies don't necessarily rank for because they haven't taken the time to look in those little analytics. And there's some tools that can help you out to do this. SEMrush and Ahrefs. Both have a free tier, so you can kind of get like a little bit of your feet under you. Domain rating's not a perfect score, but it gives you a general idea of where you should be ranking your pages. And the paid version of SEMrush gives you a lot of value in searching for those long tail keywords, competitor traffic, etc. What we did was we paid for it for 1 month, did a deep dive, got all that data because it extends back, years going forward. Wasn't worth it for us to renew and keep paying for it continuously, but it gave us that picture we needed and helped us rank, 100,000 pages on Google. Another thing too, right? AI optimization. Hot ticket item, especially since it's so new, right? A lot of the time, at least from what I found so far, is it still depends a lot on your SEO. ChatGPT, Grok, Claude, a lot of times they're just searching existing search engines for what ranks and making those AI overviews. And obviously Gemini, run by Google, does exactly that as well. But to kind of figure out where you stand with this, if you don't want to use any of those paid tools that I mentioned, just ask ChatGPT, what's a good happy hour app? A lot of the time we do appear in those searches. If we didn't, we'd have the answer, right? So that's kind of how we took that. And early on when we didn't, we had to educate the LLM on what we were, right? I say, what's a good happy hour app? We get 10 different answers because there's a lot of different companies that were doing this in the past. And we just had to educate it. We just say, hey, well, check out this website. It's pretty sick. It shows all these things that you're mentioning, but instead of being an app for one city, it works everywhere in the US. That being said, I would not reveal your deepest, darkest secrets to the LLM because you never know where that information is going to end up. All right, on to the fun stuff. The real growth channel, especially for our app, social media. Early on, I made a lot of Reddit posts, not necessarily for growth. A lot of the time, you can't continuously be posting in every single subreddit about your product because of the Reddit moderator self-promo rules, but to get actual people answering you and giving you feedback, especially Redditors tend to be a little bit more negative, so getting that critical feedback, this is the place you want to go, especially when you're building early on. Next up, Instagram, right? Very popular app. If you guys want to pull out your phones and follow along a little bit, I wasn't able to link a video on this, unfortunately, but basically, the example I'm going to give here is I spent probably like 2 hours of time making some super curated happy hour video where I went in person to a place to only get 346 views. ROI on that's pretty terrible. Also disappointing. That being said, you can't get discouraged. This was just a collab post we had with a friend who's an influencer, obviously. He spent pretty much the same amount of time as we did, got a little bit higher of a return on that. And this is the real beautiful key we have here, right? So this same video, and I'll show you in a second, the proof, got 5,000 views on TikTok. But on Instagram, it only got a couple hundred. So that same content that we have that ranks really well on TikTok does not do numbers on Instagram. And honestly, if you want to follow us on Instagram, we could use the help. But TikTok has been a great value driver for us. Specifically, just in the past 3 months, this has generated over 25,000 downloads just from posting these quick 15-second screen recordings of me going into my app and just doing a search in X city. And started out, a couple went crazy viral, right? Obviously, I pinned those to the top as a social signal. Houston video is almost to 100,000 views at this point. and it still gets crazy traffic to this day. But even the last like bunch of posts I've been making all do very well. And one of the reasons for this is, and where I think TikTok works a lot better for us than Instagram, is it's a lot more searchable. There's a lot more people looking for happy hour X city than they are on Instagram. When we've tried using it for that purpose, we have not been able to discover things. And that was an early channel for us to gather data and deals to add to our site. Twitter, to be honest with you, I have not really played around with too much. We don't really get a lot of engagement on it, and it's not, kind of in my wheelhouse of strong suit. But just an example, this is our account right now. Post from May of last year, got 500 views, 1 comment, and then we posted yesterday as a test to see if somehow we maybe rank a little higher. We did not. Same videos I posted on TikTok and Instagram, I added to YouTube. Didn't really do numbers. I think in total we maybe got 1 or 2 likes in total out of all this. So once again, this just wasn't the right format and content for YouTube. Now, if you do want to consider spending some money on ads, there's a lot of really great ad credit programs. This one specifically is from Google. So basically, if you do have some budget and want to start testing out how you can rank, and if you are monetizing, a lot of times advertising is just arbitrage, right? Where if you're getting clients to your actual company, they're buying back your ad spend. So this is specifically Google, but there's also pretty much the same deal for Reddit. Microsoft/Bing has, I think, $250 spend, get 500. And then for us on the Apple App Store, they gave $100 free credit too. So just by advertising on there, we're able to get ourselves down to like an 11-cent cost per install, just across advertising for our name, some of the keywords we wanted to rank for, and just some things we kind of wanted to play around with. Now, these are just kind of some ideas I had. It's not really something we've really played around with because we are pre-revenue, so doing a revenue share with an affiliate partner doesn't really make sense, but it can be a great way to get a provable ROI versus just, paying an influencer for a post, hoping you get a lot of views or go viral, and then being disappointed if it flops. But if you get the other person invested in the success of you, they're going to work a lot harder for it. I don't think I need to explain why that is. Second thing, which I do actually have a lot of experience with now, is community building. Gotta find out who your super users are, right? Who's actually using your product? Who is your best client? Who actually cares about what you're doing? And ask them for their opinions. I email our super users all the time, the people who suggest updates to our app or raise questions, have problems. Always gotta interact with the people who wanna talk to you. There's also a lot of great guerrilla marketing ideas. You can get 10 different ideas just by looking at all the people in your niche on social media and seeing kind of what they're doing to do the same thing. And if you still don't have any ideas, you can always ask AI. And yeah, guys, that's my talk. Sweet. I don't know if we do questions. Do we do those? All right, cool. Umberto. Nice to meet you, man.
Likewise. Quick question about, at the beginning you didn't mention any budget for your goals, and also I'm just curious about your business model, generally speaking. In order to calculate the ROI when you're considering this type of investment. So do you have any example that you can share from previous campaigns that you think they were successful or not, or what happened throughout the process?
Yeah, so the ROI for us being pre-revenue, right, early stage, is time. That's purely the play, right? So the example I kind of gave was spending 2 hours on an Instagram post that I thought looked cool, but no one else did. And that wasn't worth the time. But the 15-second screen recording I made that literally takes me a minute to upload does insane numbers, right? So that's kind of where we're coming at it from that. We are also pre-revenue, so there's no real quantifiable metric as far as that goes. Cool.
So ChatGPT and other LLMs to recommend their own business?
Yeah.
Okay, so I think I have mine on like high privacy settings because I don't want to train. Do you have to like? Can you talk more about how to make that happen?
So like I haven't really done the black hat version of this where I've like made a bunch of accounts and spammed it. But on my own personal account, because also we are a consumer app, we want to be discoverable. There's really no proprietary information I'm trying to hide. I just made sure that when I ask ChatGPT, Grok, whoever about Happy Hopper, they know what it is. Or if I ask them about happy hour apps, it recommends me in at least that first couple suggestions.
So I could create a new account that's not
probably
like training the model.
Yeah, I think so. And I think even if you just wanted to, even through your personal, right, you say like, hey, this is my business, just check it out. Just educating it somewhat, even if you don't want to say anything proprietary. I think that would be fine personally.
The Reddit aspect, do you recommend sort of generating content via Reddit in targeted communities? But you mentioned there was like one community that you were targeting, or was it Reddit in general?
For us, it was city-based. So because every time we expanded to a new city, I'd make a new post in that city subreddit, assuming there was no, anti-self promo rules. Because I always try to be generally respectful of it. They say there's like a 10-to-1 no self promo to promo ratio in general, supposedly site-wide. You can kind of play with that, and I don't follow that for the most part. It's tough to just constantly be commenting and coming up with posts to stay below that ratio, but as long as you're respectful, you're not posting every day. Like when I was doing it heavily, I was definitely spacing out how frequently I was posting in a new place, but there was so many different cities and communities that were available to me to get information and feedback from.
Have you done anything with backlinks?
With backlinks,
Yeah,
great
yes.
question. So, not too much. We took a lot of chances at that at the beginning, especially while we were ranking. But then once that kind of tailed off, me getting a crazy backlink right now probably isn't gonna do that much because we're already kind of like, not penalized, but like devalued for whatever reason. So our website's kind of like downhill for that, but I think once we do start to rank and we kind of get those pages all like cleaned up, reworked, and back out there, that would definitely be a priority. And I will say, one good backlink, like from an actual reputable source, especially someone in your niche, is worth 10 times as much as just a general directory backlink. So you can spin your wheels and tires and go crazy like getting every single link you want, but it probably won't matter that much unless it's something that's actually valuable and people care about.
First of all, thanks for the great presentation. It was awesome.
Thank you.
It sounds like a lot of the marketing strategy you're doing right now is very like top of funnel, kind of about building reputation. You were even saying that your website looked a little bit suspect. Is there any plan or any kind of like larger direction for like middle of funnel? Like it sounds like you're pre-revenue, so like maybe app downloads and like good reviews, that kind of stuff. Is there like a goal with that for like cities, or what's kind of your thought process with that?
Yeah, so long term, I want to dominate Austin, right? This is our backyard. This is where we're based. Eventually, I want everybody in the city to know what Happy Hopper is. So when I do start to spend on ads, it's going to be completely targeted here. Like, is that necessarily the smartest strategy? I don't know, but that's the one I'm going to take.
Gotcha. Thanks, man.
No problem. What's up, Eddie?
Yeah, what up, man? So for example, like on TikTok, right now you have like same thumbnail pretty much.
Yeah.
Built different like map. Do you have like any other ideas from the thumbnail eventually?
Yeah, so I did actually play around with doing some other types of content. I did different screen recordings within my app. I made some real content. With that one video I filmed, I cut it up and posted it a couple different times. And maybe that's something I would look to experiment with on a sub account. But for whatever reason, the map videos just do so much better. Like 4 to 5 times better for us. What's up, man?
So I'm pre-revenue as well, as you know. You've talked about like, I'd say probably like 5 different strategies as a pre-revenue business of different avenues you're going down. guerrilla marketing or the SEO, like if you could rank them in like a top three, like just from your experience, what are some things that you see across the industry, working for other people, working for yourself, working for, you know, larger businesses, smaller, like what would just be like a top three you would nail in that we could just take home tonight?
Yeah, for sure. So it definitely depends on what kind of business you're running. I mean, I gave examples only speaking from being a consumer app, but in that sense, I can give you a consumer app top three, right? So, I mean, TikTok for sure. At the same time, you can a lot of times post that same content to Instagram just as a reel. So I would call that maybe like 1A, 1B. If you do have a website, SEO is obviously super important because it does take a while to build and it can lead to a lot of early traction. Now we have a lot better CTAs than we used to, so we're getting a much higher conversion rate of people going to our site and turning into app users, which was the goal for us once we realized we had the 5 times higher engagement time on the app versus our website. And a third one, I would say maybe a little bit more experimental, and you might not see the immediate results right now, but I would say AI optimization as well, just because if that does continue to pick up at the rate it's going right now, I don't think Google will be flipped for a long time, maybe ever, especially the fact that they have their own LLM too, but can't hurt to just give that a shot and spend some time with it.
Yep. Thank you.
No problem. All right, sweet guys, thank you.
All right, thanks a lot. So let's take a picture, everyone. So gather together. You're in the front.
Okay.
Facing this way. I'm gonna take the picture.
Oh shit.
I think we're gonna be your entourage in this picture.
Everyone say tequila. Tequila. All right, let's give another round of applause to Will. So, couple.
Also, I host a monthly networking event called Scrappy Startups. It'll be next Tuesday in this same room at the same time. Check it out. Dakota might even be speaking at it. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, so a couple additional announcements. I have parking validation tickets, so if you park here at Capital Factory, come to me and I can give you a ticket so that you don't spend a lot. If you want to know more about the Austin AI Academy classes, also get in contact with me after this event or during the networking. We still have plenty of time to network, and there was a good turnout, like 35 and a dog. So thank you everyone for coming, and let's have a drink.
I want the dog. Oh, no. No, sir. No, sir. No, sir.
I wouldn't know how to explain it though.
Yeah, I didn't want you back.
Oh, that's going Mario.
Good, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
So, when I first got here, an experience of this. So, I got there over 8 months. You know how people give money to people that have to use it. So, you know, I see a lot of content before, you know, applications. And I want to say they regulation to the point of
pushing like like I said, I haven't gone too like how right? Like I haven't been like taking multi-accounts when I'm trying to figure it out. But like when I have that, I just go to the website and like, oh, what's this? What do you think of it? Or have you heard of this before? Or I'll be like, hey, have you heard of Happy Hour? Like, kind of mess around with that, even in some different chats and different websites. Right, because that forces it to like go on like doing research. Yeah. Just asking what do you think. Yeah. Yeah, I guess the more you ask about it, the more exactly. Yeah, I mean, it's great too to try to be like, we kind of think of ourselves as totally like the infrastructure. So like, who's ChatGPT to make our API calls? Hopefully us eventually. Yeah, so we're trying to position ourselves that way. Alright. And so you mentioned you got X number of downloads. Yep. How did you know that you got these downloads? Because in Google Search Console you can see where the traffic's coming from, and also just in general because we were getting 25 downloads a day before then to 500 plus, and then now we've kind of settled on like the 250 range. Like after our like big viral moment, we were getting tens of thousands of views on a single video. Now that we're even sitting at that one to that day, well, we're still getting 250 downloads. Is still valuable. Right, so there's no magic parameter that you can, you know what I mean? You probably can with some more like higher level tracking. I haven't found any really tools, but I'm sure that's probably some good data. Alright, yeah. So this is just sort of your general thing. You know what happens with the traffic, and you know what happens with the yeah, exactly. And now that like we're thinking about doing those like ad credit programs, right? I mean, it's basically not free money, but discount. So I do want to set up something that's going to have better tracking, especially now as we're just going to keep you like rolling out like, I don't know, as much growth as possible, really. Yeah, like we're full balls in on downloads right now. Yeah. I'm really excited. All right. Sweet. Keep it up, man. Thanks for coming. All right. About 3 years ago. So this idea is something I'm looking forward to. I know the general demographic, because TikTok is where most of our downloads come from, we know 62% women, right? And we know it's mostly 25 to 30. So like, we know something, and from that, and it's also something
have to build, and then this is the part, I have to get working, I have to That's kind of my overarching I'm excited for what's it's just a million different it's a house of cards. Dude, come on. I gotta get the guy. Oh my God. I said, shoot, no one. And she's like, no, you have to get out of here. We have to have all people to ourselves too. And I was like, she's like, I don't want to show something. No shit, law. She was like, and guess what I tried to do? I tried to call her. So I called her. Heaven will fight.
problem. Thank you. Appreciate it. Yeah. Hopefully, do some more of those in the future. Other events.
So
Yeah, Yes.
Like $1,000 and
Yeah, definitely. Once I like get my job, right? I have oh, sorry. So I have a job as an AI youth instructor. So during the summer I can pay you. I don't take I can pay you $1,000 during the summer to like right outside. Like definitely, it's like this is a good summer project.
I know I'm gonna be that.
What was the name of your event school?
It's Scrappy Startups.
Scrappy Startups.
Yeah.
Okay.
Also, how are you gonna
Bootstrap, you're actually companies.
I don't
really
have
anybody. I mean,
I don't have access to like.
you usually get like 50.
I don't even have to do it.
Yeah.
There's no data here. I'm like leveraging making my own novel
I'll show you like a
Lego.
little speech.
Like
And,
through Tequila.
you download my
So
app.
it's like I'm making my own stuff through like stuff
We're
like
talking a
that.
little bit about personal finance.
So then testing that data through like microbiolins and preparing
Making sure you
it.
deposit to your own
And then showing that data to the arts like Eurolab, which are both the Vinci labs at UT. And then like, hey, this stuff actually works. So then like we'll kind of cycle that. Yeah.
Try high cap.
Yeah.
Or it's scalable, but I would say it's like
This could be enough for time. We have like 3 to 4 people.
I don't know, I still do healthcare research takes forever.
Oh, cause like they're not even close to me. They're not even close.
That and also like healthcare is slow and it's very regulatory because it's a people's lives, right?
Yeah.
So is there any teaser?
Yeah.
You should have like
Six?
yeah, like if
6
you
to 8.
like hard code, right?
Free
Or
code.
OpenAI
Do
or
we just sign
whatever.
up somewhere or?
You can sign up on those if you want.
But it's healthcare.
Free food and drinks.
Like humans let people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We always do it on a virtual one, but we wanna get an actual like sponsor.
I mean, there's like a lot of costs.
Yeah.
Yes, I like this.
Sponsor
Compare
it.
that.
But they can't sponsor it.
Not just that, but like
Because
it's an option.
Yeah.
So we
That's also
can
good.
sponsor as a part of making these things.
And like,
Cases, the specific detail of the one.
no, I'm saying that like
Yeah.
when you
Head over there now, talk to them, go back
When
to
you're
the
there,
bar with the actual
you're-
rep, so you can talk to them. I think he
even if
knows.
you do everything right, people still get hurt.
Where's your guys' event in Chicago?
And who's the blame with the robot?
I'm not sure where the event is.
No,
They were
no.
split between two different venues as of yesterday, but
It's that sometimes it's hard.
somebody else is taking care of
Oh,
that.
okay.
Yeah.
You guys don't have everything right, but
There's a colleague of mine,
Oh,
one of our partners in Houston.
either
is
that
flying.
or the connection got worse.
You guys usually go to the Houston ones too, or?
We go like once
they have to
every
be
2
more cautious.
events.
Okay.
The other
Yeah.
is-
At the end of the day, there's doctors hurt and
Yeah.
a senior of mine,
They're a big
told me,
summer.
a friend of mine,
Yes.
that
I think that's big enough.
when you are responsible.
Is it in like Capital Factory Houston? Is that right?
There's a similar place called
And
the
you
Iron.
Okay.
It's yeah, it is.
And
Well, it started with a building that was a Sears building, and then they gradually bought it, and they remodeled everything.
Yeah.
And now it's a very cool building. Actually, we have our office in there.
Oh, nice.
But they have these stairs for conferences, co-working spaces,
It's gonna be a very big
offices,
RAM.
and there's big corporations there that have their office there, like Microsoft, ExxonMobil,
Yeah.
Chevron. So yeah, there's companies there. So, but they are doing this whole district. So they already built like a giant parking garage.